Hi my lovelies. So I'm back with another video, and if you've noticed, I have a nail break. This tea bag repair has been extremely disrespectful, and we have to start all over again. And it's okay, because if you all have been following my channel, you know that the art of natural nail care starts with understanding the growth process. And I grew out my natural nails from this free edge area, but it starts here, right? It doesn't, you don't grow nails from the free edge, you grow from the flat nail plate. And I had some damage within this nail plate here because I was cutting my cuticles and it eventually grew out. And I had some cuts in the cuticle and it grew out, and then it had weakness within this area. I also have, if you look at my thumbnail, some damages. So in this video, I want to show you exactly how I repair a fractured nail. It's completely severed, you guys. You see that? So let's just get right to it. So first thing I did was wash my hands with soap and water, got all the oil off, and I am going to set this little baby over there with a heart, aww, over to the side, and we're going to repair this nail. Now since it had a previous repair with a tea bag, right here, we're going to use tea bag again because we're just going to get this nail to a decent length, and then we're going to cut off the damage. If this nail has a repair as well on this end, if you can see, there's a fracture. That fracture requires a little bit of glue in order to prevent it from snagging. And so right now I have 9 nails that are intact and 1 nail that is broken. So let's get to it. First things first, I'm going to take my brush on nail glue. I got new glue from Kiss. So we're going to take this out. I love the brush on nail glue. You all know that brush on nail glue gives you the right amount of glue. Since my nails are already clean, I've scraped off any glue, I've scraped off any of the tea bag residue so we can get right to the application. You saw the nail, I have it off to the side here. I am going to position it just as if this were a tip. Now you may wonder, how did you find this nail? What exactly happened? Guys, seriously, has this ever happened where you were reaching for something very quickly and you weren't paying attention to your nails and it cracked and it broke? Well, that's exactly what happened to me today. I was reaching for something and wasn't paying attention to the fact that my nail had a cast on it. It had a crutch. It had an assistive device, and I took it for granted. I treated it like it was a bionic piece, and it's not bionic. We have to take care of that thing until it grows out. When it grows out, you can have 10 healthy nails, but until now, we are going to do plastic surgery. And that's what I'm here for today. Now, some of you may decide that you want to go ahead and cut your growing nails off, and that's fine if you want to do that. But there are some of you who don't want to cut your existing length, and you want to be shown how to repair the nail, and that is what I'm here for. Now, if I were to cut these existing nails, all of them would be to the length of this, which is not long, but is decent. I'm trying to get to longer lengths. And so I'm going to show you how to do that without disturbing your growth cycle. Now with this nail here, I haven't done anything to it to make it extremely flexible. It has curled up on itself because there's no hydration. So I'm going to just flatten it out. And if you see what I'm doing, I flipped it over. I'm just pressing it to flatten the nail. I wanted to have some pliability to it. So I'm pressing it to make it where not as tight as it was initially. It's similar to where my nail is here. This hidden nail has hydration, this one does not. So I need to match both sides get lined up. I was in the process of moving very quickly, and I did the cardinal sin, and I jammed my nail, my fractured nail, my repaired nail into something, and the nail broke off. Thankfully, I was able to find the nail, and then I'm going to take the piece and I'm going to attach it. When I attach it, it's mainly just like a jigsaw puzzle, lining up the frayed pieces together so that it fits. It's not going to be perfect or seamless, but like any puzzle, it requires symmetry and alignment. So once you get it lined up pretty well, that's maybe as good as it's going to get in some cases. Let's go ahead and flip it to the underside, and we're going to line that up. There's many gaps, Let's do something about those gaps. I'm going to take some more of my glue and just dab. I'm not brushing at this point because I want good saturation of glue. So I'm just dabbing to fill product. Once you get the product to your satisfaction, then you're going to go ahead and make sure you start to fill in those ridges with glue. Excess glue on all of the fault lines, all of the cracks. That's what's happening here. We're going to shore up this nail like a bridge. Now you may say, why are you preparing this nail? And cutting off my nail is not possible because I do not have time to go to a salon and have them give me an artificial tip. Plus I'm growing my natural nails. So I need to learn how to maintain my natural nails. Now you may think this is fairly thick, and it is. I'm just trying to shore it up so that I can give the appearance of naturalness as I grow out this imperfection. At this point, I have a decent amount of glue. I'm going to move on to the next step, which is my cornstarch. If you looked at my previous videos, you'll realize that I use cornstarch to bind the nail together. This was a previous tea bag repair. Now, cornstarch in tea bag is ideal. So I have my tea bag here and my cornstarch. I'm going to take a small portion of the tea bag, and if you're interested in learning how to do the tea bag method, stay tuned and follow this video up with my repair tea bag video. I cut a good portion of tea bag and I'm going to place it over the entire portion of the nail. This is a complete break, and as you see, I have used it like a band-aid, and that's exactly what it is. It's just an aid. It's not a full repair. I have my wood stick here, and it's going to aid in the pressing and application. I'm going to take the tea bag around the nail, press underneath, and smooth. As you can see, I'm sliding the tea bag in order not to cause any force of the tea bag, which will then transfer that force into the nail. If you see that, I'm just sliding the bag into place, and there we go. It's a nice band-aid for this area. Now, with any band-aid, it has to be replaced periodically. So we know this isn't a permanent fix, but it will do for now. The glue is in place. It starts to melt in place. I'm going to take a little bit more glue, solidify it, and then we are going to follow up with our cornstarch. So because this is brush-on glue, go ahead and brush it on. You guys, this is so convenient. Now let me ask you, why is brush-on glue better than regular nail glue that you just squeeze out? Have you all thought about that? Have you thought about why brushing it on is more of a controlled application versus squeezing it out? Have you thought about being able to get a thin layer versus a thick glob that then has to be filed? Are you following me with this application? Now mind you, we're just holding up what we have put on the nail. We're holding it up until the nail grows out and it gives us enough length so that we can finally get rid of this break, this fracture. There's a cast on this finger. And when I say cast, I'm referring to what happens with bones where we break and we then set with an exterior cast. And now we treat it gently. We don't go play baseball after breaking our arm. Would you agree? We don't go skating after breaking our leg. We treat it gently. So I'm going to take the cornstarch here. And if you look at my previous video on a cornstarch repair, you'll see exactly how I do this method. I'm going to take cornstarch and just pat it over the break. I'm not going to press into it because I want it to not become clumpy or thick. I'm going to go in every angle and every direction, underneath, on the sides. Give me a thumbs up if you've ever done this before, using cornstarch, using brush-on nail glue, repairing nails that have been broken. If you're that type of girl because you don't want to wear acrylics per se or wear tips, definitely like this video and subscribe to my channel because I'm so interested in helping everyone to maintain their long natural nails. So at this point, I'm waiting for the glue to dry. I'm going to apply a second application of cornstarch, which happens to be fairly natural. You can ingest cornstarch. It's not like it's very toxic versus using acrylic or something else. So at this point, I'm going to consider the fact that it's starting to dry and start to gain some resemblance of smoothness. Now this is a complete restoration of a 100% fracture. 100% separation of nail. How I was able to find this nail? Y'all know. You guys already know. Maybe it was about this video. I have no idea. But I'm going to go with it. You guys liking this video so far? Have you repaired a complete fracture? That's what this is about. All right. So here we are. I'm just going to blow it off camera here. So as I press it into place, I know for a fact that I have to treat this nail very gently because it is a fractured nail. As you can see, I have coconut oil here as part of the video. And so as I have the nail pretty much solidified, if I had an event tonight that I needed to go to as a result of restoring this nail, I can go. I can actually, if you polish your nails, you can polish them. As you may have noticed on my channel, I wear my nails bare. I will put stones on the top or stones anywhere to jazz them up a little bit. But as a result, I pretty much stay as natural as possible. I believe it's actually so beautiful and often imitated as a result of its simplicity. Again, I'm just gonna use my wood stick to go in there and make sure that I create a small separation. I need to clean under my nails, so I'm going to make sure the glue doesn't interfere with my skin. And we are a go. We are a go. We have mended it. Did you guys like that mending? Oh my goodness, I'm so excited to show you more nail tricks. That could have been all bad. And I got to give a shout out to my girl, Jewel. Jewel, we are back in the game, my girl. She knows the struggle of what I went through today with this beauty. I'm going to take my buffer and I'm going to just give it a little extra love. Now, when I buff, I'm buffing in one direction basically. And I'm just taking off what is on the free edge, just the part that has inconsistencies. Now, we're almost there, but a side note, I want to go into some things that some people don't always talk about, which is with natural nails, there's a process. If you start to look at my nails, you'll start to see the hangnail that's here on this pinky. It's not that big. It's short, and it's at the edge of the nail. This portion of hangnail deserves to grow out to the tip, and it will if you let it. If we stop using our nippers and our files to cut the sides of our nails, we will start to notice that these little hangnails, instead of being high on the nail, which is up there like they normally are, up there, and up there, we'll start to notice that they get further and further down. See that? See how low this one is on this nail? And again on this nail, it's all the way down almost past the skin. Once it gets far down past the skin, it starts to connect to the nail. You no longer have hangnails once you get this little bit of a hangnail to actually connect to this bottom portion, this free edge. Again, with this pinky, it's a little bit easier to see because it's hanging over. Do you all see that? This hangnail that's peeking over wants to connect to the rest of the nail. That gives you the strongest nails possible when we stop cutting them. So when they do show themselves, it's unsightly, and I understand that. So I'm going to show you what I do and how I prevent myself from taking off too much. So I'll take my nippers, I'll expose the area that needs to be trimmed, and I'll just take what's loose. Because if we don't take what's loose, I will agree that it has the tendency of ripping up. We don't want it to rip up. We want it to continue to grow out. So in some cases, I'll rub oil on it and just rub it down and let it be ugly. Let it be loose. But if it's tearing and ripping on clothes, then you prevent progress. And so this one here, I'm going to let it continue to grow down. I'm going to let this one continue to grow down as well. And you saw I just nipped this one ever so gently. These need to grow out. My hangnails used to be high on the nail. When I say high, you see how this one is about there? This hangnail used to be way up there. Every time it was loose, it was there. It was never connected all the way down the nail. And as you know, if you've watched my channel, I have been growing my natural nails out, but I'm still in the early phases of it. So I still have damage from filing and trimming and cutting cuticles from way up here that is now the existing free edge. I hope that makes sense. You can see evidence of it from this thumb. I actually had a tear and a break way up here from cutting my cuticles, a crack. It's grown all the way out to about this portion here of my nail. Now my camera is not necessarily showing you. It got really blurry and I do apologize for that. But I do have a tear right in here that has grown from up here to down. So, but they're restored. You can have that longevity of growing out your nails without the discouragement of having one nail short while the rest of them show their length. These are my natural nails, no enhancements aside from this break, and I want to tell you that as you continue to watch, I'll show you more, and I thank you so much for tuning into my channel, and please continue to follow up with me. Click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Click the notification bell. I love to post as thoughts come into my mind and events happen. So you take care of yourself, and I will follow up with you on how this repair is doing, and you take care. Bye-bye.